You're watching the most exciting game you will ever see on your TV set.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Four Plot Podcast, where we hang out, four guys, and talk about gaming, movies, pop culture, really anything that comes to our mind. So glad you guys are joining us. Today at the table, we have Matt Easterling.
How's it going?
Richard Isaacson.
Yo!
And Mike Williams.
What's up?
And I'm Will Jackson, and we're excited to be with you guys. We haven't done a podcast in quite a long time. We've taken some time off to get better, to listen to other people. By taking time off, I moved out of the state, and I don't know what you guys' excuses are. I just moved out of the state.
It was all planning time.
It really was.
Just prep work for this show.
It was all prep work. For now. It was all prep work for now. Well, what we wanted to do, it's the end of 2018, just ended. We're now in 2019, January 6th as we're recording this, and really wanted to look not only back at 2018 about what was really good in gaming, what was not good in gaming, but also looking ahead as well into what we're excited about for 2019. Of course, games come out and people play them and there's hype for them, or, there's sometimes they slip under the radar and you're like, man, like that was a really awesome hit that I did not expect. So we're just going to kind of review our personal preferences and probably argue about some points of what was good and what was not good in 2018. So we're just going to kick it right off. I'm going to throw it to Mike. Mike, 2018 gaming or really pop culture movies. I think in my mind I keep it a lot on gaming for mine, but whatever may stick out to you. What did you like about 2018?
As you know, I see lots of movies, especially in the theaters. So yeah, I don't have a lot of those, but I just got a 1X for Christmas, or right after Christmas.
Nice.
So I've been going through.
You have to tell the story, though, about how you text us all how you got the 1X, which I was insanely jealous of.
Yeah. So my wife and I were talking about getting one because we had some money kind of saved up that, when we go out to eat or something, you have some cash left over. We just kind of store it. And then we sold some old phones and stuff like that and kind of just had some money in the bank. But we decided we're not going to get it because after Christmas, when I was going to get it, because we got a little bit of money from relatives, it went back up to $500. So it had a $100 price jump. So we weren't going to get it. And the night that we got back from our parents' house now we're down here, my wife goes to Target to get groceries, and she found one of the listings on Amazon was still at like $400. So she had to haggle with the service guys to get them to match the price because they'll do price matching.
No way.
So so she ended up getting it for that price and brought it home, and I was so surprised because she walks in carrying it, and I'm like a little kid, just super excited.
I didn't even know that part about the price match. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well
so
done,
if you
Mrs.
find anything
Williams.
that's fulfilled by Amazon, they'll price match it at Target.
Well, I hope my wife's listening to this right now, okay? Because not only did she bring you the Xbox, she price matched the thing. But that's pretty incredible. So so you got the 1X. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought that was a great story.
So basically, I've just been going through all the games I have that are optimized for the 1X, and there's a lot of them now. I mean, most of them. But the game I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. Doom looks really good on it. Rise of the Tomb Raider. I've been going through all the Game Pass games basically and playing for an hour until I get bored and then moving on to the next one. So just kind of a lot of that. But honestly, man, if I look back through it, I don't know if there are any games that came out this year that were like huge deals for me. I don't know. A lot of the ones that I liked came out in 2017, and I'm just still playing them.
Right, just still going. So what are some games I'm trying to even think back for me. What are some games in 2018 that you got? Or maybe that you bought or you acquired that you were their hype was there, but you bought it because obviously nothing stuck out to you. So, but you obviously purchased or played games. So which one stuck out? You're like, I'm not.
Bro,
that was.
You know what game? It's I actually do like it and I still play it, but I would say it was probably the one that was least. It didn't meet the expectations. Was playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Going through that,
Really?
yeah. And I've played 25 hours into it, so I've put some time, and it's fun, but I don't know. We were talking the other day about this. That game is just so realistic.
Yeah.
In the way you travel and the way that it takes you, 37 minutes to skin a buck, and you got to wake up every morning and drink your coffee and have your stew.
I do it, man. I always walk over to the fire and I grab a little cup of stew, and I will drink the cup of coffee until he puts it down.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
I'm no quitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm
3 drinks, man. Got to have that.
Gotta have
that hot coffee, man. So, but it's just one of those games where it's almost so realistic that I can't. Right. I got to commit 3 hours to playing that game because you can't just jump in.
Did you guys play Red Dead Redemption? Did you guys?
A little bit of it, but I will say if it takes 37 minutes to skin a deer or whatever you said, that's actually pretty good. It's pretty fast. You're like a superhuman. But no, I really like the game. I haven't put that much time into it, but I just love GTA 5 a lot, and so it's just kind of like a more polished, version of that, but also set in the Wild Wild West.
Right.
So.
I think the online just came out for it, which the holidays have got me all messed up. I was traveling. I haven't had a chance to really sit down, but the online, I believe, just came out. Yeah. But was it you telling me that there's been problems with it, that people are not really happy with how
it's going to be super grind heavy, just like GTA 5 was, where unless you want to spend $50 to $100, you're going to have to play all the time if you want to get all the stuff. So
I have a friend in Louisiana who he is always online. His profile is always online, and it's always GTA 5. You want to talk about the grind? And I asked him one day, I worked with him, and I said, hey, what do you, you're always online. I mean, even when you're here at work, like, is your son playing or what's going on? He goes, oh, no, I leave my Xbox on. I sit in my apartment so that my character accrues money during the day. I'm
you got to have maximum efficiency. Right. It's not fun, man.
I mean, as a grown man with children. And I'm like, well, I mean, he's a good friend of mine. If he listens to this, he'll know what I'm talking about him. But I thought it was awesome that I'm like, man, you are committed to this GTA grind. Like I was impressed.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So so Red Dead you weren't that impressed with. I haven't gotten a chance to really dive into it. I played the very first beginning, that opening thing. Anybody listen to this who played Red Dead, and most people have because it's been such a popular game. Yeah, that opening few hours is a grind. Whew. The snow levels, you're just like I'm just man. But I haven't really I have not really gotten into it a lot because I got stuck on another game, which I'll mention later. But yeah, I'm eager to see what it's all about. But I have heard that it's very, very realism heavy to almost a fault.
At the point where you're like, I mean, yes, this is realistic, and yes, I feel like I'm there. But most video games cut out a lot of the stuff that's right. Kind of boring.
Well, so for pacing, you know what I'm saying? For right. Like, oh, cool, I can skin animals, I can kill animals, but like Far Cry does that. You can kill animals, but once you've got your pelt, like there's no need to. Like I know one of the achievements on Red Dead is like face a bear 16 times, have him attack you, but kill the bear every single time. It's just all kind of crazy.
It's the traveling too, man, because it's like it's pretty. Man. You can watch everything. They have a cinematic view, but. Right. Man, after a certain point, you're like, I just want to go there. Like, right. I'm tired.
I want to leave the house.
I've been outside.
What am I doing here?
Once you've seen one plane and one tree, I think you've seen them all.
What am I doing with my life here? It's so beautiful. What about you, Matt? What are some games in 2018 that you came across that you really loved, or maybe some that had the hype but just didn't reach it for you?
One I think was a big disappointment was not necessarily the game itself and how it plays, but was Battlefield 5 and the return to World War II.
Really?
I thought that was really disappointing just because it's been done so much. And yeah, they kind of took a break in general, like shooters as a whole. But then you see, them, Call of Duty, all go back to it all at the same time. It right. felt kind of, a disappointment. I wish they had gone somewhere different with it. I don't know what that could have been. I don't know if you want to go like Vietnam or the Civil War. Or something.
Yeah,
the moral quandary of the Vietnam War. Yeah, so much fun.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's also funny because Call of Duty did it last year. Yeah. It's like you would think that, and I'm sure that game's already in development by the time. Of course, right. I mean, they're not like, oh, Call of Duty did it. Let's just spend all year developing another one. It's like it was already in development, I'm sure, but it's just unfortunate that it was, because Call of Duty this year moved on. Well, not really Call of Duty, but Black Ops. I mean, there's been Black Ops games every year. We'll get to that later. But I thought Black Ops was totally outside of the norm this year, which we can talk about later.
Well, everyone kind of got so, like, they called them out so hard with Infinite Warfare. But that game had been in production for like 2.5 years. Like, you can't change it at that point.
Right,
so,
right.
It just kind of happens. You just kind of have to wait it out almost as a company. Yeah.
What about games you did enjoy? Is there anything in 2018 that you really loved?
I think Destiny 2 has been the first real success for the games as a service model that I've seen, because I'm not like a Fortnite guy or anything like that. So I think that it's been really cool to see with the Destiny Forsaken, with that whole DLC rollout. It's been really, really good. I've really enjoyed it. That's pretty much what I play now when I have the time to get online. And I've always felt like there was something that there was to do, that I wasn't just going on just to play something. I've really enjoyed Gambit.
Really,
that's been a huge boon, I think, to them. The kind of the competitive cooperative combination that Gambit provides has been a lot of fun.
Well, also with the newest like DLCs, the Black Armory stuff, I don't have that, and I have still been able to play everything. Like I've missed out on some end game stuff that I couldn't do anyway, and I don't have some of the guns. But this is the first time I feel like I've been able to play Destiny after it, after a new DLC came out without buying it, which is.
I'm not a Destiny fan. Like I'm a Destiny fan when it launches, and then I hate it. I just get tired of the grind, man. Like I just can't. Like everybody gets sucked back into it, and I just can't because I'm always like, cool. Let me pay for this DLC that I'm going to play for about 2 months, and then everybody's going to start, fading off and like dropping off. Now I've heard that Gambit, like Trevor, who's also a part of this podcast, your brother, he just loves Gambit. I mean, that's what it's called, right? Gambit. Okay, yeah. I believe not picked up that. I don't think I played Destiny 2 at all in 2018.
It's the Drifter, man. It's that new character.
The Drifter.
Vex on the field.
Oh, God.
Go with God, brother.
There are some improvements.
Okay, good. One of them being that voice that Mike just did.
Not all good.
It was a different direction to go, and it was the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to go back to
Varix, who talked like this. He sounded like Zorak from Space Ghost.
They brought him back briefly as it's like an AI subroutine.
Did you kill him?
No,
man.
Yeah, but the voice came back in one of the strikes, and it just makes me laugh every time thinking about you doing that voice, man.
Oh gosh, man, because he would say like Yoda type things, right?
Oh,
We'd be
yeah.
like,
They are dead. You are not.
You are not.
You're like, I get it. I know that's the point of the game.
Yep.
Okay. So anything? Okay. So you said you really enjoyed Destiny. Richard, what about you, man? What are some things that you really enjoyed or did not enjoy about 2018?
Well, I think 2018 was a good year for Spider-Man in a way. Some bad stuff
all around.
Probably one of my favorite games of all time is the new Spider-Man for PS4 that came out.
Yeah,
I'm actually still playing through that.
I almost bought a PS4, and by say almost, I'm still every time I go to a electronics store, I'm always like, I want to buy a PS4 just to play that game. Like I have no other game. I know Last of Us, people say all that stuff, but the Spider-Man game looked incredible.
Yeah. Also, God of War. I forgot about that one. That one came out in 2018.
Yes.
That was the best game I
really
played
good
this whole
one.
year.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
so good.
I will say Spider-Man, being a Spider-Man fan, like it's like every Spider-Man fanboy's dream to play this game. The story is great, the voice acting, graphics, the web slinging is like not over the top. It feels perfect.
Right.
It's just a good game. I don't know.
Spider-Man fans, they're hardcore, man. Like when I went to, so I had the opportunity to go to PAX West this year, and when I was there, they actually had. I thought about you. They had a Spider-Man build out for the game, right? So they had this giant. It was like the Daily Bugle. Like it was really really cool. If you've never been to PAX, like they really blow it out on the show floor as far as like eye catching stuff to bring you in. The line for Spider-Man was always capped every single day of people playing it, and that game came out like the next week. Like it wasn't like a, hey, this comes out next summer. It was like whatever PAX West was. I forget the dates now. The game came out the next week, and they still capped the line every time. And the people, dressed as Spider-Man. It was nuts.
And I like the game reminds me of Arkham. Obviously, the same kind of style. And so I was talking to Trevor actually yesterday about like how it was cool how Shadow of War is Lord of the Rings. That's his thing. Yep. Arkham is your thing. Right. Spider-Man's my thing. And we will all say one of those games are like our favorite because of our character or our setting.
This is where I cry inside because Rocksteady says they're not doing another Arkham game. So
they did 4 of them, man. Let it rest.
I will say this though. One of the disappointments of Spider-Man-ish in like Spider-Man verse, I guess, up to 2018 was the Venom movie. It's just from a diehard Spider-Man fan, like Eddie Brock. I forgot the actor. Tom Hardy. Sorry, 2 Toms or whatever.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. Tom Holland. Yeah.
Same thing.
So Tom Hardy did a good job. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it was a decent movie. But for a Spider-Man fan, super disappointed because it's like it just could have been so much more.
Do you think it was as dark as it could have been? Was it too dark?
I heard a lot of people complaining, "Oh, it's not rated R. It should be rated R." I don't really care about that. It's just I think what makes Venom, that character, so strong is Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and just the whole entire setting and story.
You're saying the dichotomy between Venom and Spider-Man,
right? Yeah.
So if they would have had Spider-Man in the movie, Spider-Man makes no appearance in this movie.
No,
correct?
not at all. He's not even
Gotcha.
mentioned at all.
Not even mentioned.
Not even mentioned.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
It's like pretty much its own thing. But
Yeah, but that's what you get when like Sony has rights and
I
then
know.
Marvel
Yeah.
has rights and then
Yeah.
Fox has rights and then it gets nuts. So what else is caught in that web? No pun intended.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Speaking of Spider-Man, just one last note. Into the Spider-Verse,
amazing movie.
Oh man, I've not seen it yet. It's on my
Amazing
list.
movie.
That and Aquaman. I'm ashamed of myself. I've not seen either one.
Yeah, I actually took my son, who's 4, our first time
Nice.
going to the movies together.
Ah,
We went and
man,
saw
that's
Into
awesome.
the Spider-Verse.
That's
He
awesome.
loved it. Just had a great time the whole time, and it's a 2-hour movie. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
it
long.
is not. It's nothing to scoff at. But yeah, he had a really really good time. Skinned his knee jumping around literally on
yeah.
the way out of the movie
Well,
theater.
yeah.
But yeah, just really enjoyed it. Visually, one of the most fascinating movies.
Yeah, I'm
I've
really
seen in a long
excited to
time.
see it, man.
The acting, voice acting.
I may
is
actually go see
fantastic.
that tonight.
It's really good. You should definitely check it out.
It's pretty cool because it's like from the trailers, it looks like just a cartoon kind of movie. But when you're watching the movie, you feel like you're like sucked into the movie.
Yeah.
It's
It
it's
is
a legitimate
comic book.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is a motion comic.
Well, it's nice to do something different because I don't know if
yes.
you're feeling the same way, man. But after all these Marvel movies, and it's just like every single one feels the same.
Yeah.
Even
Oh,
when
yeah.
I'm excited about one, it's still just
still
like
the
oh,
same.
it's another one.
And now, and we have a text thread, of course, that we text in all the time. But you were sending something the other day. What movie? Hellboy. Hellboy came out.
Oh yeah,
And it's
Guardians of the Galaxy with
Yeah.
with a red dude.
Yeah.
Right, because everything's got to be so cheeky now.
Oh, my gosh,
It's
yeah.
like I think you even texted like you got to break the fourth wall and you got to like, and
Yeah, it's that Deadpool like Guardians of the Galaxy like thing, and
Right.
Thor Ragnarok was like that as well. And it's
Right.
just every single movie that comes out in the Marvel universe now feels exactly the same. Outside of the Avengers, like every other one is just kind of like building.
And I
to
think
the next one.
Aquaman may be the first not steaming pile of crap that's come out from the DC. And I'm a DC fan, but every movie that comes out, and I don't know, like we're not going to get into the deep of DC Marvel in today's podcast, but I semi-enjoyed most of the things that came out. Except Suicide Squad. That thing is a burning trash pile that just I hate that movie so much. Oh, it's Will Smith as Will Smith. And it's like, he was not a good. Anyway. Okay, so, anyway, moving on. Okay, so Richard, Venom and Spider-Man, you're kind of two. You got anything else from 2018 that really stuck out?
I mean, obviously, Avengers: Infinity War. Like I've seen that movie so many times. I know that was like kind of earlier in the year, or maybe
Wow,
like
that
in
feels
May.
like it was like
I
2
know,
or 3 years
yeah,
ago.
but I've watched it so many times, man. I'm a huge Marvel fan, of course. That's what actually makes me excited for 2019, the new Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Man, there's just
Dude, they're doing a lot. Disney is just doing so much in the first 2 quarters.
Oh, yeah.
Or first half of 2019 because you got Captain Marvel, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then you've got Infinity War Part 2, correct?
Endgame.
Endgame,
It's called Endgame.
Oh, Endgame,
Yeah.
Endgame. Sorry, Endgame. Which that trailer, by the way, we'll talk about that another time. Excellent. And don't forget, Disney's got like 4 live-action movies coming out next
Right.
year, right? They've got Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yay! Can't wait to see Will Smith play Will Smith in Aladdin.
It's Will Smith as Will Smith in Will Smith in the Desert.
Oh boy, that big old
Will
Sinbad.
Smith in a lamp.
I feel like this turned into a crap on Will Smith.
Listen,
all of a sudden.
Listen, it's not.
Hopefully
because
Will Smith doesn't watch
It's not
it or
because
listen.
he's just like Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah.
There's lots of Depp. Like
Yeah.
you can watch a movie like Black Mass if you didn't know that was Johnny Depp for a second, and be like, oh what? Oh my God, that's Johnny Depp. Will Smith's never been in anything that you've been like, is that Will Smith? That's definitely Will Smith. You know what I'm saying?
He's never played another character besides himself.
No, yeah, I'm totally expecting him to punch Aladdin in the face and say, "Welcome to Earth." You know what I'm saying? Like,
So we some kind of Suicide Squad.
And that's not to say that we don't like the character Will Smith plays.
no.
We love it.
We love it.
I am so not into these live action remakes of like 90s
Well, you
Disney
got,
cartoons.
Hang on, you got Dumbo. They just did Mary Poppins Returns, which is not really a live action. It's like it's a remake of
Yeah.
sorts. But you've got Dumbo, you've got Aladdin, and you got The Lion King. I don't know if The Lion King is 2019 or if it's 2020. I thought it was 2019.
Toy Story 4.
But yeah, but not live action.
Oh,
but
yeah.
At least that's a new movie. All these other
Right,
ones,
right,
like,
right, I
yeah.
see.
do we really need to remake
Yeah.
Aladdin or
Even-
Lion King? Like,
Did you guys
now that-
see the Beauty and the Beast movie last year?
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It was. I think it's like 2 years ago now.
Oh,
or
was it 2
longer.
years? Yeah. It just felt like
Yeah.
the cartoon. That's it.
Yeah, I thought it was very good. I didn't see the Jungle Book. This podcast is rabbit trailing off into Disney right now, but
Right.
I didn't see the Jungle Book when I saw Beauty and the Beast. I will say this: the Aladdin trailer gets me hype, whether it's going to be good or not. When you hear that,
Right.
"Ba-da-ba," and like all those. I mean, it's like that takes you back to childhood. But then I see Will Smith with his arms crossed on the cover of Entertainment Weekly, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that cover I think did a lot of damage to
right.
the
And then
movie.
and then Jasmine is the Power Ranger that we've seen like one time, which
That
you know,
movie is gonna suck. I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be really bad. Like, first of all, I mean, who played the genie last time? It was
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Yeah, like you can't really replace Robin Williams
you
because he's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's gonna have to be different. You can't walk into it being like, oh, I can't wait to see Jafar and Iago and like the whole gang. Like, I mean, it's gonna be similarities, but it's gonna be different just based off the fact that I mean, it's live action. You can't replace Robin Williams. I mean, you can't. It's a cartoon. There's no. Anyway,
can't wait for him to sing.
Moving on. Okay, so as far as 2018 goes for me, there's a few games that stick out to me as like man, how do you hype a game so much like Sea of Thieves, and then it comes out and it is just the most boring thing I've ever played? Like, I remember being so hyped because the beta came out. And we all played the beta, and we're like, okay, cool. Maybe they'll add some new stuff when like the game comes out because the water is beautiful, and being able to like get on this ship with my friends and like sail around, that's awesome. Then the whole game came out, and oh my god, it's on Game Pass. I don't have to pay for it. I just got to pay this monthly fee, and I like get to download the game. I download it, get with my friends, we hang out. It's the same, like nothing. It's still a boat, and I get to get treasure, but there was no, from what now you may have played more hours in it than I did. No. There was just no point to me. Like, I stopped playing because I'm like, I can't find the point of this game.
Well, I think part of that is kind of the idea, which is bold, but it didn't work.
No, yeah, I mean, hats off to going, because dude, some of the most fun things ever in like the Assassin's Creed games were the battles of the ships. I mean, those were awesome, but it was just something about Sea of Thieves that did not. I don't know if it was too much. I don't know if it was like, there's too much you can do. Like, it's too, I don't want to say realistic because everybody's a cartoon.
I don't think that's it. I don't think there was too much to do.
I mean things like, oh God, the boat got hit, go down, like, fix your hole and, go back up and get the gunpowder and fill the stuff. Like, there's so much of that to do that you just like a fight of a ship war can become very taxing. I'm like, oh God, cannonball, I don't know what to, and then you're done.
I've heard a lot of people talking about all the new stuff they put in throughout this year and the new stuff they're going to put in next year, and people are excited about it. But it's just hard for me to go back once the game is out and it's been out.
Yes.
I mean, I have Game Pass, so it's not like it costs me anything, but I don't know, that first impression is so important to me, and if you mess that up, it's really hard for me to want to go back and give you another chance.
I also think like if games can't get it right at launch, like I just lose interest. Like that's why I lost interest in Destiny early on as well. I know you are a huge Destiny fan, but
well, I mean another game that suffered from that massive way was Master Chief Collection. I mean, I think that I love that game. Like, I mean, come on,
great.
I mean, come on, like sit here and realize that you can go back and play online all those Halo games you played growing up. You didn't play them growing up, so the nostalgia factor is not the same for Mike, but like the nostalgia factor for like me, Matt, and Richard and others of like, man, I can go play Hang 'em High snipers online with people. Now, here's the deal. It's terrible, right? You get spawn killed every time. I mean, we lost, like, I'm not kidding you, 100-17 the other night, just because some team from 2001 got back together and knew all the spawn points, and they were just like zapping us.
Yeah, you get match made up against T Squared and the Ogre Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the deal is like you go back to it now. And it's so much fun to play, but nobody wants to go back to it because they remember how incredibly broken that game was. You couldn't find a match. You couldn't stay in a match.
Yeah.
And even now, like, I love the fixes and I love what they've done, but even now, there is way too much Halo 3 and 4 that gets played. Like, if you just put it on, because they have this really cool game selector now where you can select not only, like, which Halos you want to play, but which modes you want to play. And it's like a matchmaking buffet. You just kind of pick what you want, and then it'll find you a game, which is very, very cool. But even when you click like find all, because like I'm a guy like I'll just hit find all and whatever comes in the Halo I'll play it. But it's mostly Halo 3, which sorry Richard was one of my least favorites.
Whew, that's a slow game.
Yeah, you move so slow in that game. But then you get to Halo 4 and you're like liquid. Like you can't even I can't even focus on anything. So anyway, but yeah, so back to what we were saying about just Sea of Thieves not.
Isn't there a new pirate game coming out too that's taking what Sea of Thieves was?
Yeah, Ubisoft. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it now.
Is it called Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag 2?
Yes.
While you're looking that up, I think 2018 games that I really enjoyed, and I know that this is not a game that came out in 2018, so I am breaking the rules just a little bit here, okay? I know, shame on me. The reason I didn't play Red Dead is because I got way too deep into Breath of the Wild. That's the game that I literally, I feel like 2018 standout games for me. That didn't come out in 2018, I understand. Breath of the Wild. I did like the Fractured Butthole, the South Park game. I really enjoyed that game. I really did. Not so much for the gameplay is good and it's fun and it's entertaining. Man, I just really enjoyed the comedy of that game. I found myself laughing hysterically most of that game.
I mean, I didn't play the second one very much because I just didn't really like the combat all that much.
Right.
But for the first one, I mean, that was probably the best example of a game that came from a different medium, from a television show. It feels exactly like a TV show,
exactly like it.
but with the game kind of built around it. So, I mean, and I know the second one was very similar. So,
right.
As far as the Switch games, I mean, you didn't get your Switch until this past
No,
year,
I just got my Switch in September,
which a lot of people did because that was when Super Smash Brothers was coming out in early December. So I think that's pretty common. People went back and picked up Zelda and Mario.
Dude, listen, people, I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, should I get a Switch? I don't know if it's worth it. First of all, very versatile. I bought it because my new job, I travel a lot. And you know, I'm a nerd and I'm ADD and I need entertainment constantly. So when I'm on a plane or something like that, because we fly to the West Coast stuff and it's a 5-hour flight. And so, you know, you get a lot of playtime. It's versatile. It's so much fun. People, you know, I understand they hype Nintendo stuff because it's nostalgic and we all know it. That Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are masterful. They are so much fun. I never got tired of playing them. Right now, I could pick up Mario. The only thing about both those games, right, is there's no end game. With Mario, you can go back and find stars and stuff, or the extra stuff, like you always can in 64 and everything else like that. Zelda's end game is non-existent. When you beat Zelda, which is fantastic, and you want to, if you forgot to do something, sorry, because it loads you back in from the save point of where you're about to fight Ganon. That's the save point it loads you back into when you try to go back into the game.
Nintendo's never had an end game in any of their games. They're very much like, this is the game, and when it's done,
right,
you're done, which is fine. It's not a bad way to do it, but for some people that I like repetitive games where I can go back and get new stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a vestige of when Nintendo was really the game's source. That's how games were. You couldn't build in end game content. It was you could play the game and you could play it again harder if you want to.
Yeah, they are really bad at taking the good stuff from other manufacturers.
Horrible.
Oh my gosh, you've seen the online service is trash.
It's trash. And here's the thing. There are things that you look at, just a couple of, this is not what the topic we're going to get on today, but just a couple of things about Nintendo, right? Where you go, how does Nintendo create an online service? First of all, they had a virtual console that had so many games on it over the last 2 or 3 systems, right? Wii U, you got a virtual console. Okay, you come out with the Switch, by the way, which has motion controls, but it's not as motion centric as the Wii was. And you've got an actual their console is solid. You've got a solid console right here, okay? How did you not put the virtual console back on it? How did you not let people play Ocarina of Time on a plane on the way?
Baffling.
The Nintendo Online service, because you guys don't have Switches, right? So the Nintendo Online service is essentially, they have this NES online library now, which releases games monthly, kind of like Xbox does.
Sorry, let's go back. You said NES? Make sure everybody
yes, NES.
NES games.
Not even a Super NES.
Yeah. Wow, I thought it was
It's only NES games right now. And it's not like, hey, here's our entire library. It's like, hey, we release 5 a month. And you play those 5 a month. And they're doing things that, for better or for worse. They put Zelda on there twice because Zelda, one of the Zeldas is Zelda. Then the next month they put Zelda up there again, but it's the special edition where you start the game with everything, which is a really cool concept for an NES game because you never had that in an NES game before, unless it was an emulator or something, where it's they start you from the beginning. All the dungeons are available to go to, but you have everything. You got the Master Sword.
New Game Plus. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a New Game Plus, exactly.
They're so stingy, the fact you can only play them during that month, correct? Once they're done,
they stay. They stay.
Do they?
So they stay. But it's stingy just based off the fact if you already have all these games ported to current systems, you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
how did you not bring it over? And then the second thing is, how in the world do you not? And I understand because of children and whatever. I was there's no voice support. You just released Smash Brothers, which by the way has its own problems with online. Right now, Smash Brothers, I can get online and I can fight I can fight you, or I can get all 4 of us in there and we can have a ring and fight in a party together. But let's say, like, I mean, Smash is built off of like teams, couch co-op, whatever. What would be awesome is if I could take us 4 and versus another 4 team, or you know, like matchmake or something like that.
You can't do couch co-op and online co-op at the same time, because we were trying to play with Eric when I was at Will's house, and you have to pick one or the other. It's really lame, and we have to use Discord to chat because we can't. That's what I was going to say.
That's what I was going to say. The zero chat is like we're literally opening up another app, or Nintendo even pops up like, "Hey, you can use the Nintendo app to chat to each other," and you're like, "I don't want to use the Nintendo app. I want to use a headset." Yeah. You know, I want to do, you know, what everybody else is doing. Sorry, I'm getting off line.
No, I mean, that's the thing. So the same side of things that allows them to release games that are very unique. I mean, all their first party titles are very unique, for better or worse. There's always a worse, right? I mean, they just don't see what other companies are doing very much. Which I think if they did that, they'd be better off.
I mean, I'll still shovel money at them because I love what they do, which we're about to move into the what 2019, what we're excited about. But I think I'm excited about to see what they do. I mean, one of my games is a Nintendo game that I'm excited about. But yeah, I just don't understand it. Don't understand exactly what you said. Why Nintendo can't? It's like they almost like. I mean, you literally created a machine, a console that for once is competing or with other, you know, where it's like, hey, my gosh, I can play Skyrim on the plane, and I can go plug it in my TV in my hotel room, and like it's there again.
Well, it's the first one as well that the controls would work for every single console that they've ever released. It's the first one they think that they've done with that, and baffling why you can't not even like Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64.
Right.
I mean, you can go online and download an emulator in every game ever in 8 minutes.
Right. And once again, and I'm not asking for free. Like I would pay you $8 to play Ocarina of Time.
They used to charge $10 on the Wii for a Nintendo 64 game. I think it was like $6 for Super Nintendo, and people were buying them.
I would have bought Ocarina of Time first day. I would have gone and bought every Zelda title there was just to go play on the Switch again. So, anyway, anybody else got anything for 2018 before we move on to 2019 here? No. Well, let's talk about 2019. We got, of course, lots of announcements coming up. It's only Q1. I don't think anything's even really come out yet that's been exciting. Richard, you did have a point that I do want to go back to, because you said something before we started the podcast, and we got a little bit of time here. I wanted to just open up a little argument real quick. Richard said that you said one of the games you were going to mention that was not good for you was Black Ops 4, is what you said, right? What do you not like about that game?
I think it's because I'm such a diehard Halo person.
It's because you're bad at it.
Yes, that's what it is. It's because like I feel like like you talked about Halo 3, even though you guys say it's so clunky or slow right now, you know, I loved that game, loved the multiplayer. I think I got so good at it that when I came to Black Ops, or at least this one, because it is very competitive, but I'm just not good at it, man. I just die all the time. I just like get so frustrated at the game.
Right.
But you know, I think overall, I think it is a well-polished game. It's different than definitely what Call of Duty has done in the last few years, but it was sold at $60, like an actual game with no story mode. And I mean, zombies, to me, when we play zombies, it's like, oh yeah, zombies, yeah, killing zombies, and then like 2 zombie games, I'm like, you know what, I think I'm done with zombies. It just felt like the same thing over and over again. But you know, and I'm not a huge customization person either, but I just think all of that I just haven't been able to grab a hold of, you know, for me to just really like.
I would agree with you on one point. Customization is terrible. Like the customization, I don't like it at all in Call of Duty. I think there was so much they tried to do there, like because you can make your own emblem again, but then they have all these really cool emblems you can get, and everybody's stolen the Fortnite progression system now, where it's like a battle pass and you can get more stuff, which, you know, whatever. I will disagree with you. I really liked Call of I really do like Call of Duty, and I'm not good at it either. Like I'm terrible at it. Like Blackout, I go hide in the bathrooms and wait for, you know, wait for the circle to hopefully.
Just like high school, right? Will?
Just like high school. Just like high school. Just flashbacks.
I'm just sick of like the Call of Duty's so bro. It's like so bro, like in your face. You know, like unnecessary cursing. You know, just like.
No, I can tell you a character has a lot of unnecessary cursing.
I believe that would be Clash from Rainbow Six Siege, man.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know, man. It's just like Call of Duty, the new one, is just, to me, it just seems so forcing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just super biased. Whenever.
I do. I only buy a Call of Duty game every like 4 years. I buy one, like 2 a decade, and that's enough for me. I couldn't stand doing it every year, and I'm not buying the map packs or anything. So.
They had, like in this one, they have this I guess side weapon or whatever, this secondary weapon or whatever. You can like slingshot yourself somewhere.
Yeah, one guy.
One guy has it. So. I remember back on the GameCube, there was a 007 game that did this hook shot thing, and was freaking awesome because like you play multiplayer, just hook shot around the arena and just shoot each other. That's what I want, just something like super off the wall like that. And I just think Call of Duty Black Ops 4, they just try too hard. It's just I don't know, maybe there's just such a skill gap that I just suck at it, but whatever.
Well, perhaps.
Yeah.
I will say that it's actually the first Call of Duty game I've been interested in a very long time. I played Call of Duty 4 religiously because I was pretty young. I was in high school when that was really big, and I just got my Xbox 360. So if I wasn't playing Halo 3 with my friends, it was just me by myself playing Call of Duty 4. Played that a ton. Played Modern Warfare 2 a lot. And Modern Warfare 2 was the last one I played. Yeah. Last one I bought. And, you know, I've been literally zero interest in any Call of Duty title since then until Black Ops 4 came out.
I've bought a bunch of them. Have not been interested in multiplayer since Modern Warfare 2. I bought the Ghosts one. I bought the one with Kevin Spacey, whatever that one was. Maybe Infinite, but
that was Advanced Warfare.
Advanced, Advanced, Infinite, whatever. You know, but I really enjoyed the air quotes here asterisk story in those because But I'm thinking and maybe Call of Duty fans can correct me on this, but I remember in Ghosts, the ending's like a cliffhanger ending, and I don't know if it ever got resolved.
I think that's widely regarded as pretty low on the
yeah. I mean, at the end of the game, spoiler alert from 4 years ago, the bad guy after the game's over with, because every Call of Duty has a thing where you got to mash the button and drive the knife into somebody at the end of the game, So you think you kill the bad guy, and something blows up, and you and your brother wash up on shore, and then all of a sudden, you think the credits are about to roll, and the bad guy or whatever, I forget what happens, he stabs you in the chest or something and drags you and your brother away, and it's game over. And
you're the end of every Call of Duty, though, is your character gets shot or stabbed.
Oh, everyone from back in Modern Warfare days when you had you drag yourself over and grab the pistol and it's swaying and you gotta it's so dumb. But in that game, it wasn't oh hey you survived. It's oh nope, the bad guy's dragging you off somewhere and it's game over. And you're oh.
And guess what? Where was that in Black Ops 4?
There
wasn't there because there's no.
But what
story.
I was going to say is, before you shouted in my ear, is that I actually have enjoyed the multiplayer a whole lot because let's just put the gavel down. Whatever you think about Blackout on Call of Duty, it kills PUBG. PUBG is how
and they play really similarly. In the sense that it's clear that. I mean, you can tell every game mode in Black Ops 4 is ripped from something else. It's very clear they're just following the trends, but it just plays better.
But they do it well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how are you PUBG? And first of all, you let Fortnite beat you to it, right? Getting on the Xbox. They were only on PC. Then when you get on Xbox, God, man, how does that game still look like it's running off Windows 98? You know what I'm saying? I mean, now granted, I hadn't played it. Maybe they've done some upgrades, but I just can never see myself going back to that game.
The funny thing is, I was the one who was pushing us to get Black Ops 4 just because we had nothing else to play. Nothing had come out for so long that we could play together. So it was this is 3 different multiplayer modes. At the very least, it'll give us something to do.
Right. And Matt, you don't have it yet, right?
I do not. I have not played it yet. I still don't have it.
We have to find a way to get you this game.
You can convince Trevor to like military shooters.
Yeah.
That is never going to happen.
Yeah.
No, ever. Have fun playing all those fantasy games.
Yeah, man.
All right. Okay, so we got just a few minutes left here. What about 2019? Going into it, what are you excited about? What announcements have come out that have got you pumped?
Well, the only big one that's definitely coming out is Anthem, which comes out in February, right?
Pretty soon.
Yes.
I mean, I think Sekiro, the From Software Dark Souls game, that'll be fun, but that's a little more niche.
Yeah.
I think Anthem is the only big title that's for sure coming out. Which
and you were saying earlier in our text thread that you're not excited about it. Like
So,
there's parts of you that the more you've seen. I have to be honest with you. I've heard you guys talk about it a whole lot. I have not dug into like all the videos or vid docs or whatever to see. Can somebody give us like a basic generic gist of what this game is about?
So it was kind of sold as like EA's answer to Destiny. So it's going to have a lot of the loot stuff, the grinding and things like that. But you are in like a mech suit.
Okay.
Third
person, correct?
Yes, all third person, and there's a big. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a mech suit called a javelin.
I want you demonetized.
Correction.
You're in a Gundam, and
just Gundam suit.
So a big part of it was the open world freedom. You're flying around, very Iron Man like, and then you're fighting creatures. You're fighting other people, stuff like that.
I like flying around Iron Man like.
It looked very cool, and then it seems like there's a little bit of almost like a Dynasty Warriors, like you're beating mobs, you're killing them with like missiles and stuff like that.
I'm already liking this.
Yeah, but we don't really have a ton of gameplay that's come out yet.
No, there have been a couple of devs doing like streams and stuff. I actually finally watched one of those just the other day. I think they did like a month ago, and it was very interesting. They went a little more in depth on kind of the gameplay. You got to see them just play it for like 30-40 minutes, which was nice. But yeah, I'm kind of in the middle. I really don't know how I feel about it. When they announced it, I was super excited. It's obviously beautiful. The original release trailer is gorgeous and all pre-rendered and all that. But yeah, it looks very interesting. I like the art style, but I don't know. Just watching them play, I can already feel like grind fatigue just watching it. So I'm not sure.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about with like the Dynasty Warriors, where you're just wiping out mobs as a as a, like
not a lot of investment.
Yeah, not a lot of like almost strategy or anything to make it interesting. And if that's all it's going to be, which I'm sure it won't be, but it just feels kind of
You said it's like Destiny, right?
I mean, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be progression.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why people keep on making games based off of not so good games.
Bruh, Destiny has made like billions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, money doesn't mean it's good.
Just because all of its fans hate it doesn't mean it is not good.
I'm just very bitter about
just because everybody who plays it hates it
doesn't
mean
everybody
that
hates
it's not
it
making
and then
money.
lines up and buys the next expansion. So.
Exactly. Okay.
When I heard Anthem was a grind route or a loot grind, I just decided like I'm done.
Yeah, you didn't like Destiny at all either. No. I don't think this is going to be your type of game.
Nope.
All right, who else? 2019, something you're looking forward to? I mean, I'll.
When is Halo Infinite coming out?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Okay,
Yeah.
I just didn't know if that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows that one. As far as games that I got a few here. I'll list out, and you guys are gonna hate me on some of these. Man, I don't care how cheesy Terry Crews is, man. I'm ready for Crackdown 3, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to.
Terry Crews is the only thing that makes me interested in Crackdown.
Yeah.
I got it pre-downloaded from Game Pass, man.
Can you pre-download it?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When does it? It comes out February 15th, right? Is what I think I'm reading here.
I'm jumping in it then.
Well, let me tell you
It's a
what.
good Valentine's Day
I'm
present.
going to go down. I didn't know you could pre-download it. I'm going to go do that because I'm ready to jump over some buildings in a single bound. All right, I'm ready to throw some cars, and I'm ready just to. Crackdown to me is a game that's just like incredibly fun, just to get in there, and it's like Grand Theft Auto used to be. I feel like Grand Theft Auto, as the iterations got more detailed, your consequences became more and more, because Grand Theft Auto 3. You could just run people over, shoot them, didn't matter. Cops kill you, you lose $5, and you keep playing. You know what I'm saying? But now, because the story's so deep, it's like I'm afraid to do that in whatever.
Yeah, I found myself in GTA like stopping at red lights now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, exactly. When in the other ones you would just plow through anything.
You got to get a job at like a chicken factory.
Yeah,
You got to feed the family, man. You got 3 kids at home.
all these Rockstar games are just getting too realistic, man. You know what I'm saying? Next GTA is gonna be like you steal your first car, you're just in prison, and the rest of the game is you're just in prison. Just prison life.
Years.
Prison simulator.
So I'll name just a few more. We don't have to go on to Jump Force. Also February 15th is what I'm reading here. Jump Force is the Bandai Namco game where it's like all the anime characters fighting in a I saw this at PAX as well. It looks fantastic. I'm saying looks as in like visually, like it's a very beautiful game.
That's one I'm not interested in particularly, but I like the concept of, and I'm glad they're doing it.
Yes.
It's not for me, but I really respect.
I mean, you're watching
what they're doing.
Goku fight Naruto, and you're just like, it's crazy. Mortal Kombat 11, April 23rd. I'm just a big MK fan.
Yeah.
Rage 2, May 14th. Rage 2, if you never played the original Rage, it's been years ago, man.
Yeah,
that was
been a
like.
while.
That was years and years ago.
When
Rage.
I found out about games in Game Informer magazine. So
Yeah, exactly. Rage was awesome. And then Wolfenstein Youngblood, which Mike jested earlier.
Yeah, as opposed to Wolfenstein Old Blood.
Old Blood. But yeah, I loved the Wolfenstein games. They are crazy. They're off the wall. They're insanity. It's just nuts, and I love those games. What about you, Matt? What you got for 2019?
A couple of the ones you did not mention. I know probably going to make fun of me for this, but Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out.
Oh man, no, that's a nostalgia thing for some people. I've never played 1 minute of Kingdom Hearts.
That is a real shame.
I've heard it just now as an adult, like as a kid, I'm sure it would look really cool. As an adult, I'm like, cool anime and Goofy and Donald and like
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, some weird villain that looks
Sephiroth.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like it's a little crazy for me now.
Yeah, I was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan back in the day, man. Just I really enjoyed those games. I played 1 and 2. Obviously, I have not played the 17 games that have come out on mobile and DOS and everything since then. So I'm
Samsung refrigerators.
Right. So I'm way behind.
The Samsung refrigerator edition of Kingdom Hearts.
But yeah, so it looks like a lot of fun. It's coming out on Xbox as well. So
it's cross-platform. Yeah.
So I don't currently own a Sony console, so I need to remedy that because I really want to play games like Last of Us 2. I want to play the first Last of Us because it's amazing.
Yes.
I'm a huge Ashley Johnson fan.
Okay.
For reasons that are obvious to you guys.
Well, why don't you tell us why?
What does she do?
What's she a part of, man?
Ashley Johnson is part of the critically acclaimed Dungeons and Dragons web series from Geek and Sundry called Critical Role.
But not Geek and Sundry anymore, correct?
Not anymore. It still airs. It still streams live on Geek and Sundry's channel, but they have moved over to their own channel, which is really.
We're gonna make one of these nights. We're just gonna go to your guys' D&D night and just podcast a D&D night. That's what we're gonna do.
Alternatively, we could watch one of the Geek and Sundry Critical Roles, and just me and Will can make fun of it the whole time. While Trevor gets more and more mad.
As long as you're watching, man.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to listen to that 4-hour podcast.
But yeah, another PlayStation exclusive that looks interesting that I'd like to play is Days Gone. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I have not seen that.
It's a zombie kind of survival game, but it looks really interesting. It looks very nice. I'm a huge Sam Witwer fan, and he's doing the main character. So that's really exciting.
There is a new Walking Dead game that is coming out.
Yeah.
It's called, I forget. I'm sorry, I should be more prepared. But it's whatever the company's name is, the Walking Dead game, and it's like a first-person shooter Walking Dead, which really has not been a thing other than like a mobile game, I think, or some crappy like arcade title. But this is like a big budget like Walking Dead title that's coming out.
Yeah, and Gears 5 is coming out. But I never played Gears 4. I kind of fell off after Gears 3. I don't know what it is. I'm not a huge. I like the series. It's fun.
Right.
It's fun. Horde mode.
It kind of peaked, and it didn't have like Halo's longevity. I mean, even Halo obviously peaked at Halo 3 and then went down.
Yeah.
Like it does.
Story-wise, you mean?
Well, just popularity.
Okay, well.
Like it wasn't as popular.
I enjoy Halo.
A lot of people do. I mean, we play Halo 5 all the time.
I enjoy it.
I think to what you're saying, it's not as culturally.
Yeah, but I didn't really enjoy fighting the same enemy bad guy 50 times. Like it's like, oh my God, who could it be? It's the Warden Eternal. Oh, it's 4 of them. Oh, my teammates are all stupid. Okay.
Yep.
That's your punishment for not having friends to play with, man.
I know. I played that game Legendary solo, and that was a horrible experience.
Another one I'm interested to see is the Division 2 is coming out.
Yes.
I was huge into the beta for the original Division. I played it once it came out, and then it
took too long to kill humans.
Yeah,
is the thing for me. Like when every enemy, every human enemy was a bullet sponge. Especially when you come from like Rainbow Six, which is you don't play with this anymore, and you should.
I know.
But Rainbow Six is such a realistic shooter kind of thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Depending on hit detection. But just having to kill enemies with 42 bullets, I'm like,
well, the Division had the same like 4 enemies too.
True.
You had the guys with baseball bats, the guys with shields, the flamethrowers, and then the guys with rifles. That was it.
If you remember that E3 announcement, like that game was touted way more than it actually turned out to be. Like where it was like, oh my God, like the weather and like you saw the cars and everything, and then you get the game, you're like,
if they had gone with like,
game.
I mean, Division is going to be Division. I mean,
Right.
Tom Clancy's never going to make like a Destiny style game. But if they had made it more like a Mass Effect type of like sci-fi game, there's a lot more like creativity you can have for a grind heavy game when you go with that type of like environment.
Yeah,
Division was just too realistic, and it didn't match with the grind heavy, bullet sponge enemies.
I totally appreciate it because I'm like a sort of a gun and gear nerd.
Right, and they did a really good job.
Fantastic.
You could separate that gun into like 52 parts.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna appreciate this Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter back in the day or whatever it was.
System,
man, that gun system,
the
bro.
gunsmith system, I think
It was insane.
Yeah, they could change like the gas on it. I was like, oh yes, oh, it's exactly what I want.
What pressure am I
yeah.
going to use?
But yeah, so that's interesting. And one there's really no information about, but it's supposed to be coming out in 2019 is Jedi Fallen Order, man.
Yeah.
From my boys at Respawn.
Yes,
And
Titanfall crew.
I'm gonna take this opportunity just to tell them how much I love about Titanfall because there's no Titanfall in 2019, but we might get an announcement for Titanfall 3 at some point.
We should play Titanfall 2 like tonight. Like I didn't play Titanfall.
I have
2
it downloaded, man. It's a great game to jump in and play.
Game.
It's fast paced. It
It
plays
is.
so well. I wish it was more popular.
Yeah, I'm contriving a reason to talk about it because it was my top game of 2018 because I kind of rediscovered it and it's my favorite shooter.
The story was
overall.
really good in that game too.
It was fantastic.
The story was
and
really
of
good.
course, a wonderful performance by Matthew Mercer, Dungeon Master.
Oh, God, here we
go. No, really, really good story mode. Just gameplay is just as tight as anything.
Right.
Yeah, definitely my favorite shooter probably to play. You know, Halo's got my deep heart. You know, I'll never leave Halo. It's my baby, but Titanfall is number
It's good,
one.
man.
And
It's really good.
the art style, the designs of everything.
Yeah,
just
and
beautiful.
back to what Mike said, very fast paced. Like I love the pacing. Like it doesn't feel so fast that you feel like we said in Halo 4 Liquid, where you're like just you can't even aim your gun.
Yep.
But just the game moves so fast.
I mean, Titanfall to me feels like what Call of Duty wants to be with that fast paced kind
Right.
of shooting, and they
Right.
they did a really good job. It's,
Right.
it's unfortunate they keep launching games like the same week as every other big title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
They're trying to kill it. It's
I
very
know.
sad.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. It was just wanted a reason to talk about Titanfall.
Oh yeah,
'cause I love it
hey,
so much.
we'll take a reason to talk about Titanfall. Richard, 2019, what you looking forward to?
There's this game, right, that this character is so identifiable. Like you want to be this character, so epic.
Is this that horse game on the iPhone?
No,
What's it called?
no. I'm talking about this is the epic adventure of Yoshi's Crafted World.
Oh, Yoshi's
I'm
Crafted
just joking, I'm
World.
just joking. I don't own a Switch.
Hey,
but
it's a Nintendo game, man. They make
Hey,
listen.
it'd probably be good, honestly. But
Yeah, hey, dude, what am I 2018 I'm looking forward to? I know it's a reboot or it's a reskin. Is Super Mario Super Mario? Oh God,
Yeah, I played that.
Super
for the
Mario
Wii U.
Brothers U that is coming out for the Switch actually, because Nintendo we're not gonna make a new platformer.
Yeah,
We're just gonna
no.
reskin the one from last.
This
last
is like
console.
the 5th or 6th one they've done
Yeah.
in a row,
Yeah.
and I'm just I've already played this one anyway. This is the Wii U one they remastered,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Not every
We'll see how it goes.
Bro, the game that's the only game coming out that I'm like legitimately excited about, and they haven't announced the date yet. A lot of
Hasn't
people think
asked
it'll be
you
the
yet.
end of 2019, dude. Is freaking Cyberpunk 2077?
Yes.
Right,
That's the
yeah.
only game I
Oh,
see
man.
coming out that I legitimately like. I'll probably stay home from work for a day to play.
Oh,
like-
yeah, man.
And that's pretty rare. I don't get that excited for games anymore.
Yeah, it looked really good in those short
Oh
bits.
yeah, I watched that 45-minute video like 4 times.
Oh, absolutely.
man,
yeah.
In fighting games, you mentioned MK11, which I'm excited for. But Dead or Alive 6 is coming. My only thing with Dead or Alive is that like it's the same style of combat, and so to
And
me,
by style, you mean softcore pornography.
I don't play the game for that, but I definitely know what you're talking
He
about.
plays
the game for that.
beach volleyball game for that.
Yeah, no.
We don't need to talk about Tracer again. That was last year's podcast.
We're
all right?
leaving that
This
in the
this year
past.
is Hitomi or whatever her name is. I forgot.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I'm just kidding. That's
Moving
what
on.
it is.
moving
Hold
on,
up.
moving on.
Okay, so Dead or Alive. Yes,
Yeah.
I hadn't played Dead or Alive since 360 when they put a Spartan in there, and that's really the only reason I bought
yeah,
that
exactly. Yeah. But y'all don't remember this. This game only. I think the last game of this was on the Dreamcast. Is Shenmue. Shenmue 3 is coming out.
game. Ooh.
And so this is kind of like a Yakuza, right? Is that the the Japanese kind of like beat 'em up kind of style game, adventure game.
Yakuza are the Japanese mafia.
My bad.
Hold up.
Yakira. I forgot what it's called.
For once in my life,
Just a fact check here. Yakuza.
I forget.
just for
Look at
once
me,
in my
man.
life, I will back Richard up on it. There's a series called Yakuza.
Okay.
That is a fighting game.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I thought I knew what I was talking about. Okay, thank you.
But
Oh,
Mike
man.
is
Mike
also
just
right.
snuck in there with no Yakuza
saved
is.
by Matt. I appreciate you, man.
That's
But
it. That's your one.
But I think 2 games I'm really excited about is Doom Eternal. I love the first reboot of Doom. Amazing. I loved it so much that I even bought the VR version on my PS4.
Ooh, yeah.
The gameplay is very like just
It's home console
clunky.
VR.
Yeah,
you know.
it's but still that whole entire game is so good. But this is a game where not a lot of people know about because it's still in development. It might come out in 2020, but it was hinted to be in 2019. Is a game called Witchfire. It's like a mix between Doom and like in a I guess Dark Souls kind of setting. And so it's it just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about
Yeah,
that.
it's
That
like
looked
it's
really
a
interesting.
first-person shooter, but you're using like magic.
Right,
Is
yeah.
what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
So it was something different.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah,
unique.
and that's something I've been like
I'm down for
researching,
different,
so
man.
yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
you look at all the sequels coming out, Gears 5, what else is there? MK11, Dead or Alive 6, all these other sequels. I'm like, we need something fresh here. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
always
awesome.
always happy to see a new IP.
So we got about 5 minutes left, ending the year. Year's already ended, launching into 2019. Xbox put out they always put out their end of the year. If you guys got it in your email, like, hey, check out your end of the year report from Xbox. So you may actually know because of the report. Like, I actually know what mine was.
Yeah.
But just to wrap up, what was your most played game of 2018? It could be on any console, any system. But like, what was your most played game of 2018 and why? If you feel like telling us,
does it have
why
to
you
be a
love it.
game from 2018?
No, it could just be
Okay.
your most. My
already know.
most played game in 2018 was not from 2018,
Right, okay.
According to my Xbox readout I got at the end of the year. So anybody jump in? Richard, what was your most played?
It wasn't on my Xbox. It was on my PlayStation. But it was Bloodborne. I just love that game.
Really?
Yeah, that
most
game.
played game.
Most played game. I put in easy 70 hours. Easy 70 hours. So
I'm gonna let Matt go next, only because I think yours and mine might be the same. I know what mine is according to my report.
Yeah, I
probably,
think ours is the same.
I probably wouldn't have said it, but the report said it was. So
It's probably Titanfall, man. I
Really?
spent a lot of time in that game this past year.
Titanfall 2, right?
Titanfall
Okay.
2.
we should have played together.
We
That's
should
such a
have,
good
man.
game.
We should have.
There's
We can
time.
still play
There's
the
still-
game.
And the thing is, the base, the player base is still really good, really surprisingly. Like there's still a lot of people online playing.
Nice.
As far back as a few weeks ago or so, last time I played it. But I did play a lot of Destiny. I played a lot of Overwatch actually because my wife got really into Overwatch.
Yeah, one of you played a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah, so she played way more than I did.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of.
Who's her
Overwatch.
main?
She's usually a Junkrat man.
Oh, I love Junkrat.
Yeah.
I got like 3 exotic skins or legendary skins
Really?
for him. So that's the only reason I play is him.
Yeah, Junkrat, Diva, Mercy are usually her go-to.
I'm never a healer.
not Tracer.
I'm always I always end up being support man. I feel guilty if I don't play support.
No, well, I don't ever play support.
I'm selfish.
Very
man.
selfish.
Yeah.
So that's why we make a good
Okay.
team.
What was your most played game of 2018?
It's got to be Rainbow Six
It's gotta
Siege.
be.
Bro,
be.
like, I mean,
Me too.
Because when you told me yours was, I think you told me that that's the only game we really play together consistently.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's just so good, man. Like,
Yeah.
and so frustrating all at the same time, but so good. Like if you're not on that train, if you hadn't played Richard, I don't know, you don't like it very much. You play with us like when you can. You haven't played with us, but I don't think it's just like a time constraint,
Yeah, it's
not
just
like
a
so
time
much.
thing.
It's just good, man. They keep putting out content. They keep putting out aesthetics that I can't afford.
Yeah.
And like come on, like that's the one thing. I've got like 97,000 renown in my bank account. And nothing to spend it on. Like,
Right.
I'm just like, I can buy the gingerbread gun, they got out right now. But do I want to spend 33,000, like 1/3 of my freaking, on a gingerbread gun skin? It's all for all weapons, but anyway. But yeah, I love Rainbow Six. I do. I still have fun playing it. Like I'll go home right now and play with you guys. Like I don't know what it is. I think I don't know if it's just the strategy. Like you tell me what it is. For me, I think it's the strategy, and just how every match just turns out different in some weird way based on operators and like what.
Yeah, it definitely has like a very high ceiling. I mean, we're not that good, and we've been playing for years.
Yeah,
they also still releasing operators. They've already got the season pass for year 4 now. Is that?
Oh, I need to go buy that.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Yeah, year 4. I have enough operators. I think I have like 50 now.
Yeah, too many to choose from.
No, but I mean, they continue to support it. And it's one of those things where you never feel like you're really good, and it's always gonna be something unique happening. So,
did that game come out? What year did that game come out? That's why I looked that up. What I don't know what year that game came out, but I would agree. Like, my thing is it feels different every time I play it. Even there's new maps. The new maps. I'm not a big fan of the new maps, but yeah, it's just the new operators keep coming out, and I think for me it's the strategy part. I think for me, like, you can outshoot people in Halo, or you can like grab the rocket launcher and you can whatever. In Rainbow Six, man, you just outsmart people, and that's you don't really all necessarily outshoot them as much as you outsmart them, which is what makes me feel really good. 2015,
wow.
Man, wow,
December, but yeah,
wow.
So.
But I mean, you're looking at 3 years of that game, and
for an online PvP game, that's the other thing. It's like
no story.
There aren't even any single player games I play that are that old now. But to have an actual like following for like 4 years.
Also, as a callback to the pirate game Richard referenced, that's Skull and Bones.
They went with something real unique.
Yeah.
With it there.
I was gonna say,
glad.
Oh, really unique. I'm surprised it wasn't.
How much is their creative team making?
The working title was Arg.
That was
Arg to Skull and Bones.
The working title was Tom
what was the
Clancy's
release date of
Pirates.
What was the release date?
Oh, I have to look it back up.
When you're done with your scurvy. That's when the release date is. Anyway, guys, that is all the time we got today for the 4 Plot Podcast. Always catch us online. We all play different things, mostly Xbox, at Will Jack Sprantley.
At GrimBrother4.
XCKX Sunny.
And Mike 4 Plot.
Always find us, play with us, have a good time. We'll see you guys next time on the 4 Plot Podcast.